Today's topic will be about Khanye. Khanye had a match reaction yesterday to the Kaizer Chiefs game. He had a few interesting talking points, so we'll just react to a few quotes about his match reaction. So let's read some of the comments before we react. Here's what he had to say. The first half was boring. Both teams did not want to risk. The two coaches should not have started Dupree in a high-intense game. He may be fit, but he's not match fit. Last time in Congo, they started him out of nowhere and he missed a setter. They may be setting up this lad. Surprised that William Modi keeps on starting out of nowhere. Ox and Thabo Cela were not functional and they affected Ndu Shabalala's game. Ox and Thabo Cela did not take authority of the game. They told Cross not to go forward as much as they told Solomon to go forward, and he was limited to going forward. The second half, the Egyptian team improved. They started taking more risks, making runs in behind. Where was Kwinika and Miguel in the first goal, allowing that guy to turn, and then they ended up conceding a penalty. Miguel, high school mistake, kicking the air. The tournament will improve Kaizer Chiefs' mindset. I mean, Khanye did have some very good points in that game. The first half was not boring. As a Chiefs fan, as a proper Chiefs fan, I think it wasn't that boring. I think we did well. But as a neutral, I think, yeah, you would say it was a boring game. Both teams did not want to risk. And he was being honest that that Egyptian team, second half, they did put up the intensity forward. They saw the gaps in our defense or in our team. And they were more for it in the second half. And with regards to him saying that Bule Modi and Dupree shouldn't have started, yeah, he was being honest. Like, Bule Modi and Dupree can't start games out of nowhere. They can't start games out of nowhere. I think the element of surprise doesn't work in CAF. You just have to play players that are on form. Maybe you can surprise more Gallants who are maybe planning and know as Chiefs. But the team from Egypt, they couldn't care less what we do, I believe. Because it's a CAF game. And you saw that Dupree in a game like this, I think the coaches were expecting Masry being at home, being an Egyptian team, to play a high line. And they didn't play a high line. And, Dupree without a high line is more or less useless. So we played it with about maybe 10 men, if we're being honest, you see. And that's just Egyptian teams, guys. I think Sundowns helped us see the Egyptian teams for what they are, and Pirates. Because Al Ahly went to Orlando Stadium last season and they parked the bus. Al Ahly, the Real Madrid of Africa, parking the bus at Orlando. So these North African teams are not all that, guys. I was disappointed with how this team sets up in the first half. I thought they would take authority, but at the end of the day, they had a game plan and they won. You see, and Bule Modi, of course, yeah, man. I think if we're being honest, I think we should get rid at the end of the season. I just think we should get rid because we still have people like Khanye Samaya to come in. Villaba is looking good. Lilep was going to come back. So I just think Bule Modi, he may be surplus to requirements. I know he helped us with Nedbank Cup, but win the Nedbank Cup, but it's time to move on, guys. It's time to move on. Villaba and Villagazi will get experienced. I mean, Pirates went to the semis with Ngota, Bogazi, Mbata. Who's that left doing a for gang? Players that are young and have no experience but are talented. So I think we should just go with talent, guys. We should just go with talent and players that are good enough for Kaizer Chiefs, like Villagazi and Villabai. Because Bule Modi, as much as he's a decent performer, does he provide you with any, I don't know, not happiness, but positivity when he starts? I think Villagazi and Villabai are more exciting, I think. The one point I would disagree with Khanye is the Ox and Thabo Cela were not functional. I believe Thabo Cela had his best game this season, besides the Open College game, I think. I think he had his best game this season, Thabo Cela, maybe besides the first 5 games of the season. And Ox did decently. I just think that he ran the game. Thabo Cela ran that game, particularly in the first half. I think he kept us in the game. He like defensively, you saw that these guys they have experience and they're stronger than us. Physically they were stronger than us. And it's a game where even Ox got out muscled. So if you want to risk taking out Ox and putting in George Motlo or Ngospile Ngobo in that game, in a physical game, in a physical midfield, then you're risking. So Ox did his job normally. He did his job like that's what he does. I think people criticize Ox for what he can't do, but he's a CDM, guys. You can't ask him to dictate the game like Andile Charlie. He's not that. Definitely not. And Thabo Clear, I think he was good. But if you wanted to maybe have a bit of a more attacking grid in the midfield or take a midfield that takes authority, then even Luke was available. Maybe he should have played alongside Thabo Clear. With regards to Cross being told not to go forward, yeah, he was told not to go forward. You saw that it was an instruction. Cross does get forward when you play in the PSL, but in the big games, you saw that maybe they said Solomons can have the authority to go forward because he's a better attacking threat. So I just think they told Cross to maybe tuck in and be a third centre back, and it worked, I guess, for most of the game. Yeah, thank you guys for watching the video.